Good morning. It's Friday, April 2nd, so it must be time for another legislative update from your North Carolina Medical Society. I hope each of you had a wonderful Doctor's Day. If you are a physician, please know that the North Carolina Medical Society celebrated you this week. You may have gotten an e-card or a personal card from one of our staff members or from another colleague or a patient. We really want to take that day aside to celebrate you. So I hope you had a wonderful day. You all have been through so much through this past year and through the pandemic. So we really wanted to take that time to get some outreach to you. I know several legislators even liked my tweet about Doctor's Day. So please know that you're appreciated, and we were thrilled to celebrate you a little bit this week. This week at the General Assembly, the focus really was on two different education bills. One being pushed by Speaker Tim Moore and the other being pushed by President Pro Tem Phil Berger, one related to summer school, the other related on reading. Lots of conversation and negotiation, but really those two bills were the focus of the General Assembly this week. They have not made it through the full process to go on the governor's desk yet, but I expect that to happen soon when we come back into session. Another bill that moved this week that I've mentioned before is House Bill 61. This is the local communicable disease funding, which will provide funds for our local health departments to better combat COVID-19, but also future disease outbreaks moving forward. So this bill made it through the Health Committee. It's now going to Appropriations Committee, so we'll be continuing to follow this bill through that process. The next bill I want to talk about is Senate Bill 345, which is PA team-based practice. And I mentioned this to you last week, and we got a few questions about it from members. So I wanted to clarify a few things about that. So this modernizes how physicians supervise PAs, but it also recognizes training and emphasizes team-based care. And this bill is a product of the North Carolina Medical Society Medical Team Task Force that met for over 2 years. I think I mentioned that last week too, but we're going to start providing you some more resources. Here's shortly an FAQ, kind of an overview and a summary of how this proposal came to be, so you can have some more information. We also have a summary of the bill on our blog, and our joint statement with the North Carolina Academy of Physician Assistants is also available on the blog for you as a resource. So please continue to reach out to us at news@ncmedsoc.org. That'll be linked here for you as well, but please use that email to give that your feedback, communication, questions to us. We'll be happy to answer those and have a staff member reach out and connect with you. The next bill I want to talk about, we've seen a flurry of bills filed this week, again, since we're approaching a deadline of what is called legislative spring break. So next week, the legislature will be out of session, no committee meetings, no session. We'll also have no video for you next week since we won't be in session. But because of that, we saw a number of bills being filed. So please check out our legislative blog. We'll have all of those bills that relate to healthcare that we're following and tracking and working on available on the blog. So look at that. But the first one I want to point out to you that was filed this week is Senate Bill 415, Greater Transparency in Healthcare Billing. This is pretty similar to language that we've seen in the past on surprise billing, balance billing issues. We'll be working closely with our other colleagues and stakeholders, physician specialty counterparts, and others to work on this bill, against this bill. So more to come on that, but wanted to point that out to you. This is the first bill of this type that we've seen so far this session. Last session, you may recall, or session before that, this language was put into the budget. So we'll be closely following the budget as it comes out to ensure that it's not there either. The next bill I want to point out to you, Senate Bill 486, which is Reform Courts and Jails, which it's a lengthy bill, but does have a section in there that relates to the treatment of pregnant women within our prison system. So if you're an OBGYN, you may want to take a closer look at that and give us some feedback on it too. So that's one we'll be tracking, following, reviewing a little bit more closely too. And then very importantly, which relates to each of you watching these videos, there have been several bills filed this week that relate to evidence, which could have an impact on medical liability cases. If you're interested in seeing those specific bills, check out our blog and then go to the liability tab, which is located on the right-hand side of your screen, which will have summaries available for you. So as a reminder, next week is legislative spring break. So no video next week, no session, but we will be coming back that next week. And I know that March Madness for you basketball fans out there is almost over. But I am here to inform you that April Madness will be starting at the legislature next week with our bill filing deadlines approaching. We'll see a flurry of legislative action when we come back from this break. So enjoy the week off from the legislature, but when we come back, I just want to note to you, we'll be incredibly busy with bill movement. That's all I have for you this week. I hope you enjoyed the long weekend if you have one, and we look forward to hearing from you and talking to you soon.